Welcome back to the garden. Tonight we're going over a special treat for all of you that are learning how to play this great game, whether you're a high handicapper or a low handicapper. Today, based on your handicap, I'm going to teach you how to practice best and get the most out of your range and practice time. So one cool thing is we all have the exact same amount of time in a day, but some of us use the time more efficiently than others, and today I want to take you through, based on your handicap, what you should be doing spending time out here on the driving range. As you may notice, there's a club down or a shaft down intended to be on my foot line of my target. No one, no matter what handicap level you are, should not have something helping them line them up at any stage of when you're practicing. Most of the time, the tee boxes, if you notice out there, there's 4 different flags or places to hit. The tee is going to mess you up based on the rope alignment and the shaft alignment. So if you don't have a good indicator, you'll almost always see Scotty Scheffler, Adam Scott, almost all those guys always have at least 2 rods down. And it generally looks like this because they want 1 really close to their eye line, and 2 making sure their feet line match up with what they're supposed to do. So I don't care what level you are, the first thing you got to do is make sure you have an indication of how you're lined up based on the target, so that when you get set up and you look left, you're confirming very specific needs that you're going to have on the golf course that relate to this range session. All right, so let's start with your high handicap players. The one thing you're going to want to make sure that you do before and probably during is to check your setup. And so you want to make sure that your setup's really good. It'd be optimal if there's somebody out here with you, you could take a picture of what you look like, or set your camera on your golf bag and just take a photo of how you're set up. Because if you're set up poorly and you start making swings, your body's going to adjust. The athlete in the room is going to make adjustments to strike the ball, but it could be actually encouraging poor swing habits. So you want to make sure that you have some plan in place to get your body set with your butt out and your arms relaxed, really focusing on setup, and then from that position, go ahead and start making your swing. The reason why the setup's so crucial, even checking it in the bathroom mirror before you come out, is that you don't want to create bad habits, especially if you're a beginner and you're trying to make consistent movement patterns. You can get really fed up and really frustrated really quick by hitting shots in an awkward position, because you're actually going to do more harm than good. Make sure that you do that and prepare yourself for the right setup before you get going if you're a high handicap player. Hey, thanks for watching today's episode. Here at My Pro Golfer, you know we like to keep things simple. And today, I've got a special gift for you to help you never miss a 5-foot putt again. Click the link below and download today. So for you scratch players, you're going to want to be more specific in your practice. You probably got a pretty good swing. You probably got a good understanding of what you're doing with the ball and the ball flight. You want to take some notes from your last round and say, I had trouble with this or that shot. And one thing you want to do is you want to work specifically on the shots that you struggle with, all while creating the same mechanics and the same habits that you've done before. But one of the things that's pivotal is to try not to hit the exact same shot twice, and really train your mind to be able to execute every shot that you want. But if there's a specific shot that you're struggling with, I want you to practice that one most often. So for instance, I'm out here working on loading my left side more and really firing up and trying to hit that shot. So what I'm doing is trying to figure out, just by tweaking my grip and my setup, where the ball is going to be sent with this new feel. So I get my feet a little bit closer together. I'm trying to feel more load into that left side, under my left foot, and pushing up. And that's really changed from my more lateral movement, and I was always kind of a sweeper and a draw player. And now I'm noticing the ball get up a little higher, a little quicker, and kind of fading off to the right. Now we got a little left to right wind, so that affects that a little. but not enough to not be that correct spin model. So I'm now going to go ahead and hit that same shot I just hit. I'm just going to strengthen my left grip just a little bit and see if it changes anything in the function of the ball flight. Because when I'm under pressure, I'm going to want to have hit these hard shots. And that definitely drew, oddly and almost uncomfortably. So I'm going to tweak it up and change it up a little bit more to make that happen. I want to make sure I've hit enough shots on the range and pulled them off the way that I wanted to before I can commit to taking that shot on the course. And for a scratch player, that's the kind of handicap work you want to do. You want to say, all right, let me visualize a shot on the golf course that's going to get me 8 to 10 feet closer to the hole, which will give me more opportunity to make that putt. Because if you're shooting 74 to 71, having a shot that gets you 8 feet closer, maybe 2 to 3 times around, is going to be huge when you're trying to get your handicap from scratch to a plus. So if you're a high handicapper, you want to work a lot on hitting the ball more consistently, getting a really chance and an opportunity to groove your swing. And if you're a low handicapper, you want to have a lot more work on short shots, because you're really trying to just find a shot or two. And a lot of times that's, you know, hitting 8 to 10 feet closer like we just talked about with an iron, or it's just maybe hitting that shot that sometimes goes 12 feet to hitting it to 10 or 8 feet on an awkward pitch. So knowing your exact yardages and feels from a practice standpoint, I've got buckets out there, or cones, 10, 20, 30, 40. What you want to do as a scratch player is really dial in the yardages. So I'm going to make my chipping practice as if I was on the course. I'm going to go to that 10 pin first. It's a little windy, so it's already knocked down. Knocking it down would be one of my goals. I'm going to hit the little shot. And as I strike it, I want to say at first, long or short, knowing how I struck the ball. So I obviously would have said long in that particular instance. To get even more precise, you know the yardages. I want you to call out the yardages as you strike. A long time ago, Sergio Garcia was playing a really difficult golf course, and he'd hit this little flop shot that looked great. And he said immediately as he struck it, get down, or get down in a Spanish accent. And he flipped it up there and is about 8 feet past the hole. But he knew immediately by his practice that that ball had come out harder than he wanted to, and he was asking for some help. So really grind out here, trying to get really precise on your short shots. That's the best way to get your game in better check. So I've got another one. We're going to go 20 yards. I'm going to hit my shot. I'm going to try to call out the yardage as soon as I hit it. 23, 4. Oh, wow. That almost went 30, so I'm a little juiced up, a little excited, not using my own wedge. So let me try another one here. You're just trying to get that comfortable feeling of, I'm going to go 40 here, comfortable feeling of just making these wedge shots. That should be a little short, maybe 38. I landed right on it. Now the wind's going that way, so from a feel standpoint, I was probably right. From a condition standpoint, I was probably a little bit off. But I also want to factor that in, like, okay, I thought that went 30 or 40. It flew 42. That's a wind factor. So when I'm feeling this breeze at this temperature in this direction, like, that's the kind of stuff that you scratch players need to be thinking about to get to the level of getting plus and really shooting some under par rounds that make you feel just phenomenal.
Hey, just want to remind you to not forget on getting your free gift below on how to never miss a 5-foot putt.
40. Not too bad. Threw it about 41, 42, but it felt like 40. When you come out and do your practice, make sure that you got a plan. Rods, always, got to have them. Got to know where your body's lined up, otherwise it could throw your whole swing off. Number two, make sure you spend some time on your short game. If you're a scratch player, you need to be spending 75% of your time putting, chipping, something of that effect. If you're a high handicap player, you really got to start grooving this swing because you need to know what it does in the air. Spend 50% of your time hitting balls and 50% of your time practicing short game shots. Short game shots can be just as simple as hitting pitch shots to different buckets or different spots, but you got to develop the routine and the rhythm of getting better at golf. Gang, I hope this was helpful. Looking forward to help you on how to play golf in this video series that we do. If you have anything specific you want me to hit, let me know. Comment below. I'll put it into a video. I get back to every single comment that people send my way. I want to make sure you're liking and subscribing, and if you do, keep in touch. Let's go as far as you want to go in golf and get you as good as you can be, whether it's high handicap player now or a scratch player now, trying to save 1 or 2 more shots. We'll see you next Thursday at 6 o'clock.